So this particular question is something I get frequently in my DM, comment section, emails. Like, people have reached out to me countless times if they can report their employers without getting into trouble. So you know that when you're moving to the UK on a skilled worker visa, you're sort of tied to your employer, and anything that affects your employer will definitely affect your stay in the UK. So a lot of people on a skilled worker visa, especially those in the care sector, are always like complaining about their working culture, what they're experiencing and the job and how their employer are treating them. So they want to know if they can report their employer without it affecting their visa and their stay in the UK. So this is what I'll be talking about, because I got an interesting story and I felt like it is quite relatable, so it's something we should touch on. Hey lovelies, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Faith or Johnny, and on this channel I talk about ways you can travel abroad and settle abroad. I share my experience in the UK as an immigrant, and I talk about migrating to other countries as well, and once in a while I share story time where I share things happening in the UK. So if these are the kind of content that interests you, do hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I share content like this. So if you are interested in knowing if you're going to get into trouble for reporting your employer on a skilled worker visa, then stay tight, watch this video till the end. Without saying so much, let's get straight into it. Okay, so I have this story from an immigrant who recently moved to the UK, and this person is currently having issue with their employer and the situation is different. So this person sort of asked if they can report and to also know what are the repercussions. Of course, if you're on a skilled worker visa, you have to think of the side effects or how this will affect you if you report your employer. And I don't know what the UK government is doing about the exploitation of skilled workers, because it's getting really bad and people are really going through a lot and there's no sort of help coming from anywhere. So this person was like, I have just arrived on health and care worker visa work permits to the UK, but the employer is changing location of work and to another city and being very slow on not providing details of work, benefits, companies, information, etc. Can they legally do that, and can I do anything about it? Can I refuse as agreed place of work is another city? Can I change employer with new COS, and will I get my fees back or not? Will this affect my BRP? I mean, he means stays in the UK. And if the company should cancel my COS, will I get my fees back, and how long will it take to find another employment? I mean, this person obviously is in a place of dilemma. I don't know why employers do that. Some employers in the UK will sort of tell you something and do the totally opposite once you start the jobs. Some people have gotten contracts where they're going to work their working pattern shifts. Immediately they get into the UK, that is not what they are getting. What is on their contract is totally opposite of what they are experiencing. So one thing you need to know is that if your employer has issued COS to you, you still have the COS. The only thing is that if you're no longer working for a particular employer, the employer is supposed to notify the Home Office within 10 working days, letting them know that, okay, this person is no longer working for me. Then once the employer notifies the Home Office within 10 working days, the Home Office will now message you that you have 60 days to remain in the UK. So you have 60 days to either find a new COS or switch to another visa that would allow you legally to stay in the UK, or you're going to leave the UK. If you don't have any other visa that will allow you to live legally in the UK, then you need to leave within 60 days. And we all know that the recruitment process in the UK is quite slow. You can be offered the job now and your start date might be in 2 months time, which is what happened to me. I got an offer in March, I started in May. Once that is done, your right to work in the UK will be revoked. Like, you will not have the right to work in the UK anymore, so you need to switch to a visa that will allow you to work in the UK. So how can you report your employer to the government? How can you report to your employer if your working conditions are not good? Because on a normal day, if you were not even restricted or you were not tied to an employer, if what is on your contract is not what your employer is doing, you have the right to leave the job and be like, you know what, this is not what we agreed on, this is not what's on the contract, why are you doing something else? Because I have someone who reached out to me on Instagram. He said that he works in care, in mental health. They get to put him in shifts with 3 mentally unstable people and that are like physically violent, and there's no one to help him. So only him trying to manage 3 people, which is not supposed to be the case. When people work in mental health, they work in pairs so that you have that support in case there's anyone that's violence that can, you know, tame the person down. And that there was that day he was on a night shift, just him alone. No one helped him. Like, it was a lot. Imagine someone risking their life like that, you know. So if they were not on a skilled worker visa, they can easily report their employer for that, because the safety precautions are not taken. Aside from safety in the building, safety at work, like if the job is dealing with mental health people or something dangerous, you need to have plans in place to protect your employees. So a lot of employers feel like, because no matter what employees go through, they cannot really report them, because they know that if anything affects them as the employer, it will also trickle down to them as employees. So trust me, people are not coming out to say things. People are going through a lot in their job, and some people have gotten to a point. The last time I spoke to one lady, she was literally crying on the phone. She's like, I can't do it anymore. She's just in, you know, where you're in between something. You can't leave, you can't stay, you're just there. Anyway, I found one website. This is a government body that can help you. So if you're going through this situation, you don't know what to do, you don't know if it will affect your stay in the UK, what are the consequences, like is there like a visa option, like if you leave your employer, will the government like give you like an exception to stay longer in the UK to find another job, or will your circumstances be different? Because sometimes, even though the government are strict, there are some circumstances in the UK that you will go through. That strictness will not apply to you, sort of. Like if you have a unique situation going on in the UK and maybe your visa has expired or something, they have like situation where they sort of understand, but you know, it's not always, it's not often, but yeah. So there's this particular website is acas.org.uk. I'm going to leave the link on this video and also in the description box below. So this website is a government body, okay? It's part of the government agency. What they are there for, they give employees and employers free and impartial advice on workplace rights, rules and best practice. We also offer training to help resolve disputes. So their job is literally to support employers and employees with disputes. You can get free advice on employment rights, rules and best practice. If you're not sure of if the treatment you're getting from your workplace, if it's the right treatment that you should be getting, then you can reach out to them. You can call them. They will give you legal advice. They will tell you what to do. They will let you know if this will affect your stay in the UK, or if there are a special circumstance that, you know, things can be different for you. You don't have to stay in that job and be dying. I'm going to leave this link down below because this is a serious matter and people are going through a lot. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Reach out to them, call them. You can call them. They have like a customer service line where you can call. They are an independent public body that receive funding from the government, so they provide free and impartial advice to employers and employees. They represent employment rights, best practice, resolving workplace conflicts. So when things go wrong, they can help you resolve workplace disputes between employers and employee. They can give you advice on employment law and work relations as well. So many things like legal advice and train and support as well. Here you have your answer. I do not have the answer to you. Unfortunately, I can't tell you if you're going to be in trouble if you report your employer or if it's going to affect your visa, but these people are trained to do that. This is their work. This is what they specialize in. They are government agency that specialize in employment laws and best practice and how you should be treated as an employer or as an employee. So if you're not sure if what you're getting or how your employer is treating you, and you can do it anonymously as well. You don't have to mention the name of the company. You don't have to say anything. You can also, that option is there. They can tell you, do you want to, talk about the company? If you don't want to, you can also do it anonymously as well. So get the legal advice you need. Also, another one you can call is citizens advice, but for employment, I would say stick to this one. That is what they are they are there for. Okay, so anyway, I hope you like the sound of this mic, because if you're a YouTuber or a content creator, you would like to get this mic, you like the sound. The link is in the description box below for you. And guys, we have come to the end of this video. If this video was helpful, you know what to do. Give it thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I would like to hear your experience as well. Are you experiencing anything at work and you don't know how to get help? Share your thoughts in the comment section. And guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.